Hello everyone and welcome back to more Merchandise May. That flew by me because I got busy, so it'll leak over into next month. Anyways, I rarely talk about G.I. Joe here, so let's take some time for that. Earlier this year, I got in the Storm Shadow and Snake Eyes 2-pack for the G.I. Joe Retro Collection. Unlike the other figures using the same name though, these are actually retro, recreating the O-Ring Joe figures we had as kids. As my Joe collection is pretty small, I've been really excited to see where this all goes. First off, let's take a look at Storm Shadow. He comes with a katana, wakizashi, kyu, a quiver, and 2 pairs of nunchucks, one more than the vintage came with. And he comes with a stand. The swords go into the scabbard on the quiver, and the kyu slides into the slot at the top. Like the original, this one also opens. The nunchucks don't seem to have any sort of set storage space, but let's be honest, it's Storm Shadow. Him not having storage means nothing. The plastic is comparable to the original. But let's talk about the figure itself now. He's able to move his head, shoulders move 360 and move out that far. The bicep rotates 360 and bends at 90 degrees at the elbow. The waist twists quite a bit, but be mindful of the O-ring. The legs raise up to about 90 degrees as well as split apart this far, and the knees bend at 90 degrees. That's a lot of articulation for a toy from the early 80s. But you're not here just for that, are you? No, the real test of the reissue is to see how it stands compared to the original. So let's bring him in. Here he is with the vintage Storm Shadow. As you can see, the details are all the same when it comes to sculpting. The differences are all in the plastic. The vintage has a glossy plastic and paint, whereas the reissue has a matte finish. The material quality is generally on par, though the new plastic is slightly more supple, meaning less lost thumbs in the future. The reissue added another difference though by painting over the rivet, making them stick out less obviously on first glance than the vintage. I am very pleased with how this Storm Shadow came out. He's close enough to the vintage to blend in seamlessly with a vintage collection, but has enough differences that people paying attention won't be confused. Now let's move on to Snake Eyes, another fan favorite. He comes with a pair of Uzis, an ammo pack, a backpack, another sword, and a submachine gun along with a stand. The silver sword and backpack actually go with the third version of Snake Eyes, but I guess Hasbro felt he needed more since Storm Shadow has more stuff. The silver sword slots into the side of the backpack, and it plugs just fine onto the back. The ammo bag slips over his shoulder, and the plastic is comparable to the original. I'm not really going to go over the articulation here because it's the exact same as Storm Shadow's. So let's compare him to the original. Mine is actually a UK release under their Action Force imprinting that goes by the name of Stalker, but I don't really care because to me he's still Snake Eyes. In sculpt, they're identical save some detail on the ammo pack. The rivets on Snake Eyes are covered in paint just like Storm Shadow's, and the plastic here is also matte. Now, would I recommend them? Heck yeah, I would! For the 2-pack, it's $40. While I'd prefer them to be only $10 each, they both come with a bit extra, and in terms of price, it beats the vintage any day. Look at that. Yeesh. So far, they're also releasing some Cobra officers, which I am totally getting. I am all in for this retro line. I 100% believe they're worth it. But next time, we're covering some Joe figures that may not be. What do you think of these figures? Let me know in the comments. Special thanks as always to my patrons. They make this all happen. See you next time and take care.